Yes, sir. Go ahead. All you.
All right. I am one of the guys that do Scavenger Workshop, right? How many people have heard of Scavenger drives out there, right? It's good drives, been around for about 7 years. So how this started, I started off in my garage. I was like, I need a drive system. So I took an angle grinder with a cutoff wheel and some 3/16 metal, and I just started cutting away at it, and then figured out a way to assemble this thing. It looked pretty nasty. And at the time, I was started riding it, and I showed the video of it, and it was all raw. A guy from Australia, and that was one of the biggest problems that I had doing this stuff was I had to learn how to speak Australian. Right, so that was one of my learning curves, was understanding him and him understanding me. His name is Andrew Cations, right? And he was like, reached out to me and said, "Hey man, do you want me to CAD that stuff up so we can make it available to everyone?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds cool." So I drew it all on a piece of paper on how it was. I measured all my stuff out and put all measurements and sent it to him, and that's pretty much how we've been working ever since. I draw things in Microsoft Paint. I draw things on a little graphing paper with measurements. I send it to him. He CADs it up. We talk about, we hash it out for, a couple days, week or two. And then he starts sending me files, and I, in turn, get those files cut and test it out. So one of the things I want to show off is the Scavenger leg. You guys seen it on the forums. I announced it a few weeks ago. This thing is solid. It's heavy. It's solid. Bolts together really well. It is to spec, so it works with anyone else's parts out there, as far as my knowledge. So I've tested it with some of the parts I had, extra parts that I had, and the way this thing assembles is you have this ladder, this internal ladder here, right? This is your structural part. It has keyed slots in there. We call them T-slots, where a nut fits in it. And then you countersink these holes and drive a screw through it. That pulls the plates together, right? It's a pretty neat design. We have these hex cut holes in there where you drop a coupler in there. You throw a bolt through that side, throw a bolt through the top side. Everything is countersunk. So when you skim over it, we're talking about with the JB Weld. So we were talking with the powder coat guys. They said the JB Weld is fine for powder coating. You're also going to want to skim these little plates here and then lock it all down. You get this. You get the finished product when you're done. Now, I rushed on that part because I did that part last weekend. So it's not perfect, but you can't see the bolts on the back, right? So you can, with more time than what I've had, you can make this thing look beautiful, just as good as any other part. And they've had people that have priced it at different places. One person priced it at $350 for a pair of legs to get water jet cut. Yeah, I said that right, $350, right? And depending on where you go, some places you could probably register. They may send you a coupon code or whatnot, and you might be able to get better deals. There are some people that are going to want to do some that are afraid to do the countersink work and the line work. There may be some people that will offer to do that. I don't know. That's not my job. I don't sell anything. I don't have a shop. We release the DFX files for free to everyone, right? So one of the other products we made was the Scavenger MSE, right? It's an all aluminum bolt together MSE. And one of the questions I get, there's no glue in there. There's nothing. One of the main questions I get is it solid? Is it strong? And as you can see, it's all aluminum. It's heavy. It's heavy as hell. Can you guys back there see me? Can you hear me? Hold on. What about now? Can you hear me? See me? Yeah, these things are strong. It's this whole setup here, about 55 pounds. I ride it around at the at the Comic-Con, Comic-Palooza. We have fun on these things. It can pull a train, we've done that before. So it's pretty solid, you know. One of the other things that we've designed that we didn't tell you guys about that we were gonna bring here is, did I die? Am I dead?
I'm trying to fix you. Sorry, when you stood up, you got really close. Go ahead.
All this aluminum, right?
Oh, it's just your personality. It's just, you know.
Yeah. It is what it is. So one of the things that we didn't tell you about was this. This is the Scavenger no weld aluminum ankle. Assembles in a similar process to the leg there. And the biggest problem when we were trying to figure this out was the walls had to be at a certain thickness. How do we get those things to hold together? We can't just simply slap some glue on there and expect you guys to say, oh, all right, the glue is going to hold. And then, you know what, 2 or 3 years later, this plate kind of eases off and you got this line. So no, we found these nuts with the teeth on them that when you countersink inside, right, and then countersink the outside, you can put a nut and screw there. We did that because we did not want people to be tasked with using a tap and try and tap these holes for threads, because I know I've done it many times. Tap will snap. Those things are fragile as hell. You know, I don't know why they don't make them out of titanium, but they'll pop, and then you got someone upset. I got a big old tap there. I can't do anything with it, you know. So we try and figure out a way the average people can put this together with basic tools. Now, here's the thing. When I got here yesterday, this wasn't like this. Jose brought this. Jose, he beta tests a lot of stuff for us. He brought this thing in plates, and we assembled this thing right outside in the parking lot with just a drill and basically just a drill, right? And a countersink tool, made our countersink holes, put it together in the parking lot. So if we can do this at DroidCon, you know, in 30 minutes, you can do this at home, right? It's not hard. It's not rocket science. And when I ordered this, a set of these from Sencut Sen, it was $218. $218. If you guys want to pass this around and look at it, check it out. That thing's solid. It's not coming apart. It's heavy. We do heavy stuff, unfortunately, because just the way this stuff assembles, you know, we don't have a lot of room to cut the weight. We did our best to cut the weight of the leg as much as we could. We made some of the walls a little bit thinner, but it is what it is. But I can tell you, if you're using the Scavenger drives, you ain't gonna have a problem pulling, right? Our drives are strong, you know, they're good. So one other thing too that we've done, and I don't have an aluminum version of that, but I do have a 3D printed version, the Scavenger center leg, right? Same process, you know, it's a good thing. Why change it? It assembles the exact same way. You guys can see this as well because we left the top part off so you can look at it internally, right? That thing, just like the outer ankles, it's going to be all aluminum. So we've got the ankle, we've got the center leg, we've got the drive. What's missing? What's missing here, right? What's missing here is a frame. We need a frame. We need a Scavenger frame, right? So our goal is to have what we're calling is going to be the Scavenger hybrid core. That's going to be the frame, the leg, the ankle, and the drive. Now, there's no reason everyone out there can't have a droid on its feet driving around, you know? The part run is when you want it to happen, you know? You don't have to say, oh, I need to come up with the money now because there's only a limited supply. You order it when you're ready to order it, right? That's what we believe. This is all available for you guys. We're going to put it out there. DFX files, you download it and do what you want. Now, what else? So in the process of doing the Scavenger ankle, I called up Sam and I said, oh, well, I'll talk to Sam on like I do all the time. I said, Sam, I'm done with this. I'm done. I quit. Not doing it anymore. Cannot do it. This is too much. What happened was when I sent that off to get water jet cut, that aluminum ankle, when I sent it off to get water cut, one part that was supposed to be 0.25 and one part that was supposed to be 3/16, I swapped them. So when I got it back, when I got it to the house and I checked it and I measured, I'm like, why is this 1/16 off? This thickness right here. It has to be 1 inch. What? But everything else is fitting in there. So how's that possible? Right? So what it was because I swapped it, it still all went in there because the thickness of the total mass did not change. It just the plates changed. So now this section here was 1/16 too big, and this section here was 1/16 too small. And so I told him I was quitting. Sam was like, "You're not quitting. You say this all the time. I don't know. I can't tell you how many times you told me that you're done with this stuff and you're quitting. You're not doing it anymore, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know, and that's why I talk to you because you tell me to keep going." So we did create a Patreon to try and help us out, with the cost of prototyping this stuff. We're not putting anything behind our Patreon. We're not paywalling anything. If you can't do it, that's fine. We don't expect anyone to do. The files, all the metal files, can be found on our Facebook group, and you can download them and cut them and do the build of materials. So we're not paywalling anything. What we are doing is we're in addition to the metal files, we're doing 3D printed files that are identical to them, and we're putting those on our Patreons for those of our supporters who want to do a dry run per se. Who want to. If you print it 100%, you can practice countersinking your holes, right? Because I showed it in a video. I haven't posted a video. I should have posted a video. I will. You can countersink your holes and test fit it, dry fit it before you jump into the aluminum part. So is my skill set good enough to do this? I say yeah, because we did this shit at DroidCon, right? So you guys can do this at home. So if you guys want to help us out, so my wife doesn't shoot me, you can. If not, still fine. I want all this available for everyone. So you guys are probably wondering why Mr. Badley's up here, right? We're doing, like I said, we're doing a hybrid droid, right? Which means there are some things we cannot do, right? Like we cannot do the curve part for the ankle. I know a guy who can. This guy right here. So when we say hybrid droids, that's the next level of droid builders, right? You guys are droid builders, right? Not droid assemblers. Droid builders. You build stuff, right? You're not afraid of filling in the little lines and a couple of things and then sanding it down and painting it. No, you can do that. It's easy. I did it. If I could do it, anybody could do it.
That's true.
I'm an idiot. So yeah. So we teamed up with Mr. Badley, and Mr. Badley's going to do all the different things. He can talk about it if he wants, what he wants to do or what his plans are. But yeah.
So I mean, my plan really is to then release a hybrid set of 3D printed files that bolt onto these. It's been something I've been thinking about for a while, to be honest, to try and get some files that support more of the traditional building. As you all know, I hate aluminium. No, not at all. I can't even say it. I hate it that much. Okay. No. I think from my perspective, I get asked this a lot really, which is I'd like to see people 3D print stuff and then move on to other materials, join the club, reach the level that they want to reach around this kind of stuff. So this to me is a really good kind of on ramp for people that want to play around with it. It's relatively affordable, so what I'm planning to do is do kind of a hybrid build that supports these files, and then just play with it and see where it goes, I guess.
Yeah, and that being said, we're not limiting ourselves to just the 3D printed parts. Our aluminum parts will fit on if someone wants to go all metal, they can just buy the rest of the parts from the different vendors or whatnot, and they'll pop right on. So you can go all metal. We're just interested in creating a basic core, you know, the hybrid core, so people can go styrene. Oh, I want styrene parts. I'll put styrene parts on there. I want 3D parts. I want aluminum parts. Whatever you want to do, we're just giving you another option, so that way, you know, you can get your droid up and running. You can drive it. I keep seeing pictures of people's droids sitting on the floor looking lonely for months on end. They post another picture. Oh, look, I got this part. I just put it on. Oh, it's awesome. You know, but yeah, we should be moving forward, doing things. Get everybody. I want to see everybody roll, even if it's a naked droid. I want to see it rolling around. You know, and that's what our goal is here. And are we going to stop there? No, we're not. We're looking at Chopper too. So
there's more.
You know, we're looking at other things as well. We're going to keep going until my wife hits me over the head with a frying pan. I'm going to keep going and going. You know, I know, I know, because I walk something else, another stack of metal into the house, and the wife goes, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Nothing." Some parts. And she's like, how much does that cost? $35. And she's like, sure did. All right, so yeah. There's that. So what else? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and let's look at the PowerPoint. I probably covered a lot of this stuff. Like I said, I'm an idiot. I forgot I had a PowerPoint point. I have a video too, but I forgot that. You know. But right here, this is how it starts. You guys are going, oh Jesus Christ! But yeah, Sam knows. I send him this shit, and John knows as well. I send him this crap all the time. John's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that'll work. I'd like to see that happen. So this is basically how it starts. I'm at work. I'm bored. I start drawing things on paper or Microsoft Paint or whatever. And, you know, and it kind of evolves, you know. It goes to the next step, right? And then, you know, finally we have a final product, something that we can share out with you guys. But it evolves. It's evolution, you know. And that's another example of how I do stuff, right? I draw it on graph paper, and I, you know, draw out the stuff, and I say, Andrew, I got this really cool idea, man. We need to work with this, you know, and here's how it all stacks together, and here's what it's going to be, a pressure fit that holds all the plates in place and all, and this is a cool idea. We got to do it. And he's like, okay, give me a minute. Let me CAD this up. And he CAD something up. And then he comes up with some minor changes. Says, "Hey man, it'd be cool if we did this here." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that works." Sometimes he doesn't, and then I'm like, "Oh, okay, whatever. You know, we'll try it, but then pause it." No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, Andrew, he's really smart with CADing. I don't know CADing. I used to be a machinist when I was 20, right? And then I got into computers and left doing CNC machine. When now I'm a server administrator. So, yeah, that was the very first one before I sanded it and made it look good. That's how it looks when you get it, the raw MSE from, like I said, there's no glue holding it together. It's just all pressure fitted. You know, it's a real cool design. But that's some of the things we like doing. I want to do a K9 from Doctor Who. I know that doesn't appeal to any of you guys here because... Okay, so it does, right? I mean, it's going to be cool to have an aluminum K9 driving around like this that you can ride. You know, I'm going to make it rideable, you know. But it's going to be it's not much more difficult than what we have here. So it'll be almost identical to how we designed this one, right? So it's not hard. That's the drive system for this. That was all drew out on paper. Actually, I had raw metal, and the drives were just slightly cantered a bit, so you can't imagine the noise that thing made, right? Oh, let me tell you about this one here. I'm sorry, I'm deviating, right? My wife is my wife in the room? No. Okay. My wife has this treadmill in the garage that she runs on every morning. And I was prototyping this thing with this little controller here. And this is something I learned from Sam, right? This thing has a mode that protects you from a runaway droid. But that mode doesn't work if you turn the droid on first, right? It only works if you turn this on first, and it communicates to the other part saying, hey, if you lose signal, don't go anywhere. So I'm in a garage. I turn this thing on. I have the controller hand powered off. This thing takes off, hits the wife's treadmill, and drags her treadmill all the way across the garage, right? So I'm chasing the treadmill and this thing across the garage. That's how strong this thing is, right? You can ride it. It's fun, you know. But it's just it's crazy doing this stuff. So this right here, this is an interesting thing. This is why we love the Scavenger community. We love the Scavenger community because they innovate. They take our design to the next level. I was supposed to write this guy's name down and tell him about it. Say who did this. I am sorry. You can mention it. I'll get better at that. I'll post a post on the forum, you know, on the Facebook group and let everyone know. But he went and he designed some 3D printed spacers for the Badley guys in order for this thing to come together and where you didn't have to cut your aluminum spacers or order your aluminum spacers. And that's really great. That's why we like this design. We want you guys to take our stuff to the next level. If there's some improvement you can think of, right? And you're like, hey, I want to do this, but I have an idea. Is there any way you can help me out, or can you give me here's the CAD files? Do it. We'll give you the CAD files. You know, as long as you credit back Scavenger Workshop, we will give you the files. Even if you're part of our group, you're part of our Patreon, and we release early stuff to our Patreon guys. If you were not so good guy and you took those designs from our Patreon that we did not release, that no one else knows about but us, you took them out there and you released them yourself for free and said, hey, this is a cool design I came up with, I'm going to be a little irritated, but it's not going to bother me, right? Because the end goal is the same. The people, you guys got the stuff for free. You guys, it's out there. That's what open source is. It's out there, you know? Now, if you did the flip side, took our design and opened up a shop and said, I'm selling this design I created. You know what? You can piss off. We're going to release design a week later, and you didn't accomplish anything, you know? But we know most of you guys are awesome. So we'll share the designs with you. We'll share, you know, our stuff with you freely. We don't mind. We love innovation. We want to take it to the next step. We want you guys to say, I can do this stuff too. Our development group, we have right now 675 people on our team. Everybody on our Facebook group is a team member. Everybody has input on our stuff. If you want to sit there, I'll talk to you all night about stuff. As you can see, I talk a lot. But Sam knows Sam's like, let me just block him for 72 hours. He's got that on our chat thing. Block him for 72 hours. I don't need, he's bugging me. Anyway, so yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. TK6831. If you're out there, thank you. Yeah. So, yeah, all you guys are team members. Go on our Facebook group, join our group, Scavenger Workshop, you know, be a part of something great. Help us develop the next best thing, right? So there's another picture of what he did, Mr. TK. These are two new Astromech designs I showed you, so you really don't need to see that. That's part of the process. Here's our current development team. These are the guys that do the CAD, and I'd like more. If you guys are interested in helping out, you guys are CAD designers, you want to help out our team or join our team, be a part of something great, you can always reach out to us on the group. You know, we'll share ideas with you. We want to keep moving forward. And we have so many ideas, right? I have a book like this that I've drawn Sam knows I'm always sending him images and stuff, but I have a book of ideas. I can't get to everything because I can't afford to get everything. Like I was telling them earlier, there's only so much I can do because I screw up a lot. I screwed up on this one, the ankle. I screwed up on it. I've got an extra set of that sitting in my scrap pile. I screwed up on the leg. I screwed up on this. I've got like 3 of these chassis that I did in my scrap pile that I mess up on. So it costs a pretty good money trying to prototype this stuff, get it ready for you guys. And I refuse to release a DFX file to you guys unless I have a part in my hand beforehand that I've checked to say, okay, this works. This is good. Because my biggest fear is that I put something out there that I said, that Scavenger Workshop said is good. 30, 40 people get it done. They find an error, and then 30, 40 people just wasted, $350 on a set of legs, right? I don't want to do that. That's the biggest thing that scares me. And that's why we need help to try and make sure everything's right. And if the more minds on it, looking at it, the better, right? So this is how you can help us create new stuff. We have our Patreon, there's free and paid. The Facebook groups, you can join our Facebook groups and talk to us. That helps a lot. Being able to get the motivation to keep doing it, right? That's a big part. I don't mind spending the money as long as I got you guys behind me going, hoorah, man, that's awesome. I'm so happy you're doing this. You can't imagine how much this has helped me out. I hear it all the time when people talk about the drives, man. You see the smiles on their face, man. I built your drive. That drive is so cool. It's amazing. It has got me through it. And that's been going on for 7 years. And that's what inspired us to do other stuff, right? Is that initial drive, that initial thing that we put out there. And then we have a Discord, right? Join our Discord. Because if you ever plan on doing something, even if you're doing it personally, you're building a Scavenger product and you need help doing something, you need to get past a hurdle, the people on our Discord are so helpful. They're so eager to jump in and help me. I don't have time sometimes to talk to everybody because I get pinged all the time on different things. So it's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just that sometimes I don't have time, and I've created this Discord site so the community can help out. And I'll help out too. I'll jump in and I'll say, oh yeah, this is what I used here. But we have that, and not only do we have that, Discord has the ability to do live chat. So you can talk to each other. Someone says, hey man, let's jump in this little chat room. Let's talk it out. So because what I'm typing is not getting across to you, but I can verbally, talk you through it. Then there's the chat rooms, right? Oh, that's blip, blip, blip. So that's why we have Discord. Join our Discord, right? And join our Discord and help out. So at this point, I'm going to let Mr. Jose talk here. And then while he's talking, I'm going to post a video on Scavenger, YouTube, every place for Facebook, Patreon, and YouTube, and Discord. It's just Scavenger Workshop. You just search Scavenger Workshop, you will find us because you'll see the same banner across all platforms. So we made it really easy. I've got cards to pass out too, if you guys want.
So for people that don't know, my name is Jose Velasquez. I'm the owner of the probe over there. I joined Mark to help out. I focus on manufacturing. That's kind of my background, prototyping and manufacturing, and then bringing products to market and importing and whatnot. And so I have a little bit of experience on doing that. And I share my shop to my community. I have a lot of capabilities, CNC plasma, CNC fiber laser, CO2s and whatnot. And so I got with Mark, as he mentioned, there's some issues that money's always an issue. Let's just be realistic about it. This takes money. Like, I know some people shy away from the talk about money. It is what it is. So one thing that I proposed to him was try to get the Scavenger legs specifically down to a cheaper price than wooden legs. I think that I thought that was possible, and people were like, that's not going to happen. I'm like, you know, I know some people that know some people, and I think we got the Scavenger legs pretty low. And so I proposed, you know, I know Mark his focus is to push these DXF files open source for anyone to do it, which is great. There are people in every market. There's going to be people that want to make it on their own, but then there's some people that just don't have the capability and they don't want to go outsource. They don't want to go do it. So I said, well, what if we provide somebody that knows how to do it at a very cheap price, a lot cheaper than Set Cut and Send, a lot cheaper than, and they focus on just the Scavenger products. That's it. That's all they do. And then all of our profits, they go into a bank account, which funds prototyping. And that's it. So it funds the future projects so we can push out more projects for the community versus us putting the money in our pocket. We're going to spend the money on this stuff anyways. So let's just do it that way. And then now he has access to funds, or the team has access to funds to push this product out. And like he mentioned, the next project is Chopper after R2. But and I know from my knowledge, which isn't much, but there hasn't been an aluminum chopper yet, right? So I think that's where Michael Badley comes in, working with him, working with Andrew Cashins, and our team. I think that we can push out a good product that is in the chopper realm, right? Cheap, I think his name is. I'm sorry if I messed that up. Cheap Chopper, and then all the variations of him that all can use that same frame, right? I think that would be great for the community.
So real quick, let me clarify. So what he is talking about doing is he's gonna cut stuff and provide it to people, and possibly provide services like doing the countersinking or creating a jig for the line, and that he's going to use his whatever he gets, his profits, to reinvest on things that I send him to. Hey, can you prototype in addition to me prototype? I'm not taking any money from him. I don't want money. I just want to cut. That's why I had the page, just to cover my costs for what I do on my end. Anything. If you guys go crazy and start sending me a whole bunch of stuff on my Patreon, anything above that's going to charity. I don't want it. I don't want to deal with taxes, right? I'm not about trying to make money. That's right. I'm just trying to keep going without my wife killing me. So just want to let you guys know that. And he's got a good plan there, you know. Right. And like I said, the DFX files will always be free to you guys. So you have a choice to go, hey, I want to tackle this on my own, or hey, I want Jose to do the stuff that I'm kind of nervous about doing, like making that line cut in the leg or whatever, you know. So you guys are going to talk to him about that, and you know.
So what we'll also provide is the full kit, but we'll also provide the hardware. So as you guys know, that McMaster Car, we have the BOMs for everything. Here he provides the BOMs for everything. I do a lot of the verification. I already have hardware, so I'll make the BOMs in Excel. I usually send it to him. He'll verify, right? We have a pretty good workflow. And then he'll push it out with the files. As you know, McMaster Car, to buy eight things, you got to buy 50 of them or 100 of them sometimes, right? So I'll be making hardware kits, even if you don't want to buy the metal and you want to just buy the hardware kits at my cost, whatever. There's no profit at cost and shipping, and then it gets sent to you. Again, like he said, I'm not trying to profit off of this. This is a hobby to me. I make money elsewhere, and I prefer guns over this stuff anyway. So, but you had a question? Yeah. That's what we're going to set. That's what I'm going to set up. I'm going to set up a shop because there's some other projects that I'm working that's not Scavenger Workshop. I'm going to have a Scavenger section of a website, and I will push that out to them. Good question. Thank you.
Yeah. So the ultimate end goal is we want the market to decide what the costs are. I'm not controlling any costs. I'm not doing anything. If you're able to get it cheaper, you know, somewhere else.
That's right.
Jose doesn't mind, right? It's about letting you find the best price for this stuff. right? That's why you're going to have the DFX files right off the bat. You know, you can go. We're going to try and cobble together a list of all the water jet companies that we can feasibly can do, you know, that's in the US, where you can just go down the list and upload a file and say, oh, this is this amount. No, it's more than the previous one, and go down until you find the best cost for you, right? So that's the ultimate goal with Scavenger, is let the market decide on what these things cost. You know, there's going to be no influence from me. I'm just here to give you guys the files and let you guys run with it, you know? All right, so do we have any questions? What's that?
So your notes, if you're going to do countersink things, you might want to suggest buying a countersink cage.
Countersink cage.
So basically you set the depth of your countersink and
I
you reduce it.
over and over again. Yeah. So the countersink, as long as you don't push that thing all the way through the metal and you got a hole like this, you're good, you know, because the countersinks, those are there to just keep the plates together, right? So as long as you don't push through, as long as it's
That ain't going to work for me. It's got to be
perfect, it's got to be perfect. So as long as it's under the bolts under the surface and you skim it, you're good, you know. So, but perfectionists, if you guys want to get a cage and have everyone exactly flush, you know, yeah, you can do that too. But we try and make this, like I said, we want to make this to where just the average person can do it, right? Everyone.
Says the guy with a box of scrap wood.
Well, that's my prototypes. They're, you know, I'm bad at prototyping. I'll say it right now. I'm bad at prototyping. You know, I've got a lot of junk. Any other questions? So one of the big things, that's why the powder coating guys, I asked them, I said, hey man, is there an epoxy that's powder coating friendly? And he said the JB Weld. Now I talked to him after the thing, and they said they would like to test a piece first just to see. I don't have the budget to do that, you know. So if there's someone brave enough that wants to try it and then report back, you know, even if it's just a small piece, that would be awesome, you know, because I would like to know if our stuff is powder coatable, you know, but we will see. I painted mine in last weekend. That's why it kind of looks a little gnarly, but it was good for what I needed it to be. I'll probably sand it down when I get home and do them both up and slap them together.
Give estimated price on the light. What about the MSE?
Here's the thing, and here's the thing, and my wife in here. If you're in here, honey, raise your hand. Okay, so here's the thing.
No, she's not asking any questions. No.
So here's the thing. When I did this one right here, I was going through tried and true, you know, which was once Big Blue Saw. Now, when Big Blue Saw was around, they were really good. They were cheap, you know, for the Scavenger drives. They were awesome. And you know what was even better? I could always call up their engineers, and they would help me fix problems that I had, right? You know, because I couldn't be bothered to wait the next morning for those crazy Australians to wake up. You know, I was like, I need this now. You know, I'm not going to send this in the middle of the night. I need it now. So they would fix problems I had. So they changed out to, and I don't really want to say anything bad about any company, but they changed it to Exometry, and they no longer do that. They no longer have engineers to help you. What you upload is what it is. So sometimes we would have double tool pathing, which was a layer on top of a layer, right? And Exometry's automated system, they didn't care. They didn't generate. Now, send will error it out and say, you need to fix this. We've already found it. But Exometry didn't care that there were double layers, and they charge you twice for that cut, right? So, and these are just common things, mistakes that we make. They charge you twice. So I was paying more than what I should be paying, and I got this Exometry. So I can't tell you that. But what I can say is the files are on our Facebook group right now. Download them. Upload them at Send, upload them at other places, and see what, report back. Tell us, tell the other users what you get it at, because that's how we really help the community is, hey, I got it here at this price. You might want to check there, you know? And of course, people that buy in bulk.
Guilty.
will get a huge cut because the more pieces you buy, and that's how it works. We found out that our price costs double when we put both legs together and send it to Send Cut Send. Our price doubles. So if we just do one leg and say times 2, they give us a price break. They cut the price down. It's like, okay, it doesn't make sense, but okay, you know. So shop around, report back on what the prices are, help your fellow members out so that way they can get the lowest possible price ever. Let the market decide, right? So anybody else have a question? Damn it.
Rusty?
What was that?
Is there plans for scavenger horseshoes? We have scavenger horseshoes. They were being worked on. See, the thing is, we can't do curved parts. Well, some curved parts, like the curve on this leg, we can do because we stack the plates, right? Which is acceptable. We can make it those layers as thin as possible because those are not structurally important, right? All your strength is in the long pieces and then a side ladder. So it's not going to bend or flex anything like that. So we can do stuff like this. As long as it's flat on this side, we can do a complete curve and make the walls really thin, hollow in the inside, and drop some boxes in there for your greebles, right? And we've done that. I've got it on my phone. If you want to look at what we got so far, I can show it to you. But yeah, to answer your question, we do have horseshoes, but that's pretty much our roadmap for R2. You know, we're doing the frame. You know, that's it. You know, we're gonna let Mr. Badley handle all the other stuff. So become a patron of Mr. Badley. Get his files, you know, and then attach him to our hybrid core, right? So, and the reason for that is we want to move on to some of the other droids. We want to do Chopper. I'm excited about Chopper. We want to do K9, right? We want to keep the momentum going. And we only have so many CAD developers unless some of you guys want to help out, right? What else? Anybody else got any questions? Anybody? Questions? Okay, so let me hand me that one right there, just the top piece. You guys know that there is a line that goes across the leg, right? You cannot do that with a water jet flat pack because it would cut completely through this and you'd have 2 pieces, right? It doesn't do a mill cut, right? So that's part of the scavenger leg is you have to cut that yourself, right? And we put little hash marks there for the width and where the cut needs to be. So there's little key marks there. And let me tell you, the way I did it, now a lot of you guys are going to shake your head because once again, I'm an idiot, right? I took a metal ruler, right, and some C-clamps and clamped the metal ruler right there so it wouldn't move, right? And there's a video proving this. And with my bare feet showing in the video, because my bare feet's showing in every video I make, with my bare feet showing, I was on the ground like this with an angle grinder and a cutoff wheel. And I lined that sucker up against that ruler and I just went, and that was it. It took like 3 passes. I just made sure I didn't go all the way through the metal, right? And then right now, I'm going to tell you guys, don't do it that way. I put a video out there, but don't do it that way. Take a metal file and just sit there. It may take a little longer. It may sit there and rub it until you get to where.
What about a router?
Router would be ideally.
Yeah, I've done aluminum with a router. It's noisy as hell, but it works.
Well, yeah, and ideally that's great too, because if you can make a jig, you can pop off.
You just clamp a straight edge to it, and
there you go.
Yeah,
I'll be making and releasing a jig that I'll be using, and then an instructional video that doesn't include bare feet or an angle grinder.
Come on, come on. Who doesn't like these feet?
I'm not a feet guy, Mark.
I'm sorry my feet are in every single video I do. Sam has told me about that. He's like, man, why is your feet always in the video? I'm like, it's because I'm always wearing sandals. He's like, man, do you not own any PPE? And I'm like, I do, but
He doesn't use it.
I don't use it. Yeah. I do this. So, any other questions?
Any other questions?
Anybody? Anybody? Bueller?
I talked to you about yesterday, but I'm working on the Scavenger drive for Battle's chopper
Mm-hmm.
right now. I made a post on the Facebook group if anybody wants to see it.
Yeah.
I just had to get posted it.
That's awesome. So he's making a scavenger drive for the chopper, and that, you know what? That's awesome. It's one less thing I have to do.
They fit inside the foot belt, but no modification or anything.
Well, there you go.
Awesome.
One last thing we do. We have a scavenger drive for the chopper. See, that's what I like. I like the community to get involved. I like the community to do things. Scavenger is all of you guys, right? I never said I'm Scavenger, I own Scavenger, Scavenger is me. It's everyone. I want everyone to be a part of this. Any other questions? No? You guys have anything else y'all want to say? No? Okay. We wrap it up, bro? All right, apparently.
Very much.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. I have cards up here if anybody wants.